Howlers.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of Fade to Obsidian. I'm Crescent, joined as always by Skipper,
Hello.
and joined for, I believe, the very first time in our cosplay series, Backstitch, aka
Welcome in.
Caroline Krunchy / Hearthweaver.
Yay!
Just
Welcome
get those all
in.
out on the table right now.
Yeah, we're gonna flip it around every time. Something different.
Yep, that's fine. I'll answer to all of them. So
I love it. Well, welcome in. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, for our series on cosplaying, and then we are gonna ask you back for fan art, and we'll talk fan
of
art
course.
after.
Okay,
Yeah.
sounds good to
Because
me.
you are multi-talented.
Yeah,
So
it's a lot.
yeah, well, because it's your first time on the show, tell us who you are. Why are you Backstitch and or Hearthweaver, and what are you drinking?
Okay, well, to start off, in my Starbucks Jakku Star Wars cup,
Cute.
it is just it's actually a tea. I'm dry right now through Gym Rat War. So it's actually from Vale, has her own
Ooh,
tea business. So this is the Tea Coven. So this is her Girl
cute.
on Fire. It's like a cinnamony sort of tea, and it's like perfect for this time of year.
That's
So,
awesome.
but I am Caroline Krunchy / Backstitch / Hearthweaver. I've been cosplaying since 2007. It's been far too long. And so Caroline Krunchy is the cosplay name. I've had that for I don't even know how long at this point. Backstitch because I am a competitive swimmer. So, and my specialty is backstroke. Stitch because cosplay. And for my Armored Darrow cosplay last year, I got the Violet Champion during Hazard Bedlam 3.0, and so Pierce named me Hearthweaver. So that's where the
Yes,
origin of each of those came from.
that's amazing.
Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah, well named. I mean, Pierce, we say it all the time. Pierce ends up naming everyone so well, even though he gets like a survey and like a basic thing, and he just is top notch. So
Yeah, it was one. So I actually got my name about like a week after I had been laid off my full-time job, and I was just kind of floundering and everything else. So it was a rough time of the year. And I'm doing much better now. I have a job and everything. But it was one where it just kind of came at the right time. And when I opened it up and it said like for your sense of community and creativity, within the Red Rising, fandom and that sort of
yeah,
thing. Pierce has named you Hearthweaver, and I was like, I wasn't expecting this to be so sweet. Like,
yeah.
went upstairs, literally showed my partner, and I was like, can you believe this? And he's like, that's a really good name, and I'm like, I know.
That's amazing.
So, but yeah, yeah.
I love that. That's so great. Well, before we get into it, I'm also drinking tea, but I put gin in mine. I'm a cat mug, which is backwards. So mine's my martini that I call it, but it is tea.
Oh, that's a good name.
Crescent, what do you have? Oh,
Fine.
Crescent's going to
I
grab
have
a drink. He did not come prepared.
I did come prepared, but I was drinking beer.
Oh,
Now I have to drink Saskatoon Berry Hard Iced Tea.
Ooh,
hey, we have a theme.
I
I love
say a
it.
tea theme over here.
Tea
Great work,
theme.
team.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Well, so you said you got into cosplay in 2007. How'd you get in? What kicked it off?
So a lot like Alcatraz, we both do like a lot more like anime community or anime convention, more events. I've done some video game stuff and some more Comic-Con stuff too, but I think that I don't know, I just enjoy the anime stuff. Maybe it just feels a little bit more like home to me, but they just seem very like cosplay forward and that sort of thing. But I just back in like 2007, little wee middle schooler Caroline, was like looking up, various characters and that sort of thing online. I'm like, what are these people who dress up as these characters? Kind of looked into it and I was like, oh, there are conventions. There's one in town in a couple months. It's on my birthday weekend. I should go.
Perfect.
And so my first costume was not good. That's okay. We don't talk about it. There's like one photo that floats around once in a while that I'll share just to be like, look where I started, look where I'm
Yeah,
at,
you gotta start somewhere.
Right, yeah.
You can't be
So,
Absolutely.
perfect at the beginning.
Yeah. But it was,
That would just be cruel.
yeah. I mean, and it's a much
It's like,
different,
can't go up from here.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's a much different scape now because there's so many materials and tutorials and stuff like that that people have available that it's much more, widely accessible, which is awesome. But it's just definitely weird to think about from where I started, where I'm like, oh, that was my, crummy little hand stitched, very shiny satin white outfit with. I don't know how to do bias tape, so it's just Sharpie around the edges, sort of
Yeah.
thing. And, but it was one where, like, as bad as I say is bad, but like as unskilled as it was for my first costume, it was one where it was a character from Bleach, and which is an anime show, and there was like they do like big photo shoots that's just meant to be like a fandom gathering, like at the cons they'll last for like 30 minutes to an hour, and I wasn't gonna go down because I was like, oh, I know I'm not very good, and like everyone down there looks really really good, and there was one other cosplayer who like yelled my character's name, and I was like, I know she's not talking to me,
Yeah.
like I don't look good. And then like literally she was finally like, no, you come down here, join the, the meetup, come do photos with us. And like just, that first experience of somebody being so like welcoming and opening and, even
Yeah.
though, like I said, first convention, first day there, very like, I don't know what to do. I'm so overwhelmed. I'm just happy to be here, and then just somebody being like, nope, we're grabbing you in,
That's
it was just such a good
amazing.
experience that it kept me wanting to come back. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fabulous. I mean, the conventions I've been to, yeah, like I think if you haven't been to one, people need to go because it is just
Hmm.
this welcoming, like they understand people are on different levels. We talked last week of how I've done a couple different Wandas well, technically Scarlet Witch, but Wanda.
Yeah.
And like mine are always the bare minimum kind of a thing. Like I don't go full in, but it's just still like I see the people who are also Wanda full in, and they're also like they get excited to see you that you're the same, and you're like, yeah, like it is just
Yeah,
such a
literally the
great
Spider-Man meme where you're just like,
yes.
Hmm.
so
We
yeah.
did the same, and whether or not you're whatever level you're on, like it's such a good feeling, and that's I love fandoms for that reason of
Yeah.
that
And
welcoming
it's like
and
an especially like special feeling when you see somebody cosplaying somebody who is like you at the same time, but it's like an obscure character because then you're
mm,
extra like,
Hmm.
we're the same person. Let's
yeah,
talk for like 20 minutes and word vomit about this series. So yeah.
that's awesome. I love that. Do you have a favorite you've done over the years?
Oh, that's hard. It's really hard because it kind of cycles through and it depends. Like on, I don't know, it's the same thing as when people ask me what my favorite movie is, and I'm like, I
Yeah.
don't know, it depends. Like right now, me would say my Red Armor Darrow period because it was just such a fun experience building it from start to finish, even the challenges, even like the crunches and stuff that like of trying to meet the deadline and get photos done that looked good. I was like still just having such a good time, and it had been such a long time that again from start to finish of working on something being like I'm having so much fun building this, and even like the things that are kind of being a holdup, and like possibly going to put me behind or maybe I'm not going to get it done on time or whatever, I was like, I don't care, I'm just having such a good time like
Yeah.
building this, and then actually like finally putting it on and seeing it all together, I was like cheesing so hard the whole time. So yeah, I don't know, I think I would say that one, but I don't know. Ask me again in a year and it'll probably be
Yeah.
something different too, maybe. So,
That's fantastic. Well, walk us through. I'll put up pictures here we're watching of your red armored arrow at this point. Walk us through the work that is because in my opinion it's probably one of the most intricate ones I have seen anyone do.
Absolutely.
thanks. Gosh, I don't even know. I guess I started with the sling blade because I was like, okay, if this doesn't come together, then we're not doing the rest of it. So, but luckily, Orange Armory had the files and that sort of thing, and I
Yeah.
had found those. I asked my bestie to print them for me, and then I like that was really kind of my first 3D like print kit that I like put together from start to finish. Like I had worked on my Aloy bow for a while, but there
Yeah.
were issues with it, and so I had to revisit it later this year. So that was my first one to actually have like done and feel like it looked really good. So after that, I was like, I can do anything. So the next step, I was like, okay, I'm like, I don't want to buy just a generic like bodysuit. I'm like, I want it to still have like kind of like a sci-fi feel to it, and I was largely using the like Iron Gold Tour image, and I think that's the main image like on the wiki and that sort of thing for him, is like my basis, but I wanted to do a little bit of different things too. Just for functionality purposes and movement and being like, okay, well, this looks good in the photo, but however, I can't bend my torso over with like plastic, at my stomach and that sort of thing. So
you have to be able to somewhat function. Go to the
right,
bathroom at
yes.
some point.
So there were some things. Yeah, it was a deal. It was a whole thing in that costume because everything had to come off, like basically to go to the bathroom. So it was one of those where I'm like, okay, the next 8 hours we're not going to the bathroom until this is coming off, sort of thing. So, and that was fine. It's kind of normal when you're a cosplayer, like, and that sort of thing. But and I opted to do a foam base and then cover it with Warbler. Foam is kind of my wheelhouse. That's where I started with some of my bigger builds about a decade ago. But I wanted to make sure that it lasted a long time, and so covering it with that Warbler, that thermoplastic, and then doing the primer, paint, sealant, and that sort of thing would help make sure that it was actually going to last a long time. So, so that was the majority of what that was, and so I kind of felt comfortable starting with that foam base just because, like I said, that's kind of where whenever I did armor pieces before, that's what I started with. And so Warble I've done a little bit with, but it can be kind of finicky to work with just because it is, I mean, it's just a plastic, so when you start heating it up and then pressing it, like, and trying to shape it and that sort of thing, sometimes it'll crease, and then you gotta, like, try and pull it back out, and it's a little complicated sometimes, and so again, it was one where I'm like, okay, if I can just do, like, the breastplate, I have no worries about anything else, so I left that till the last, so that I could kind of work on, like, the round shape with, like, the leg armor and the gauntlets and that sort of thing, the hands and all that kind of stuff. And then once I felt like I had like kind of a good grasp and understanding on how it worked and moved and how you could work with it, then I was like, okay, now we can do the main piece and we will put that together, because if that doesn't work out, then so, but at that point I felt like I had brought my, rustiness out, and I felt good about it. And once I put that together, I was like, okay, this is the hard part. It's done with. It looks good. We can move on. So after that point, it felt like everything kind of slid into place really, really well. But yeah, I don't know. I guess I didn't talk about the bodysuit too much, but there is a whole design underneath all of the armor that no one ever sees because I don't ever wear it without the armor. But like I even have like the, on the front of the lit escalates embroidered jackets where it's got the triangle with the howler symbol and then the lines on either side of it and that sort of thing. So I had that, and then Reaper call sign. So it was like a assigned, like, scarab skin sort of thing. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, and it was just, it's one of those where I'm like, I need to
pre-battle,
actually get a photo of this someday so that it actually like exists out in the world. But and then I found like this textured, not super shiny, but I don't know, it's somewhere between like a shiny and a matte fabric, but it has a bumpy-ish texture to it. So I pleated that so that it would kind of have like the uh almost like ribbed, like large ribbed sections like it does in underneath that you can see what little of it. But I did like strips of that down both the legs and the arms just so it would have a little bit of texture to it. So I don't know, I just was like, okay, let's make it look cool and do something with it. So that way, if I'm like, okay, if I get too hot but I don't want to like get totally out of costume, then all I have to do is take the armor off and then I can go walk around in this other thing. So
yeah, have your Iron Man de-armoring sequence.
Yes, yeah. I mean, it just gets thrown off and then thrown into the plastic tote, I'm gonna be honest. Well, so, but
we can pretend it's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. How long did all of that take?
Let me see here. So I started the sling blade and the bodysuit in March, and then I literally finished it like 2 nights before I got photos done, which was like the end of August. So it was a couple months. So
yeah, that's incredible.
But I did have about like 3 weeks where I didn't work on anything though, because I was visiting my friend in France for that time. So
yeah, still
seems acceptable.
Yeah.
That's craziness. And what did you wear it for? Like, what have you worn that one for?
Yeah, so that was for MatsuriCon. It's just a small-ish convention, small, medium-sized convention, excuse me, in Columbus, Ohio. So it's one that I've been going to since like 2009. And I used to staff for them. I used to run their cosplay department there. And I think, no, that wasn't how Alcatraz and I met, but she did work for me and was one of my judges, and helped keep a tight ship, through the many years that we worked together there. And um, so it was my first year. I had actually retired from running that department, and I was ready to just be an attendee just because I had other life things going on that I was like, I can't do this and everything else anymore. So it's time to, step back. So some other people took over, and so that was my first time being an attendee, which was nice because I could just walk around and feel like a badass in my armor. So
That's amazing. Wow, well deserved. That's awesome.
And badass you were.
Yeah.
oh, thank you.
Well, talk to us about the two pieces that are behind you at the moment. One
Yep.
I've seen in the flesh, but walk us
Yes.
through.
Absolutely.
Okay, so this one, the uniform, is my take on the Solar Republic uniform. I've done fan art of it, and I was
Yeah.
like, you know what? I think I'm going to make that for Laureltide because I want something to wear for that, and that's who I am as a person, and we're going to keep riding this high. Never mind the fact that they are supposed to be dress whites. I like this better, so
Yeah.
we're just going to ignore that
Head
and
canon,
ignore.
best canon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's fine. So, and then the other one I've been throwing together for like Renaissance Festival. I was like,
Okay.
I'm like, I kind of have something, like fantasy-ish to wear or whatever. But then I was like, I want something different. And once again, we're going to continue with the Red Rising Brain Rot. And so we're working on Institute-ish
Ooh.
Darrow.
That's
So
sick.
That's
thanks.
really cool.
Yeah, I was wondering. I was like, I kind of see like a scythe shape there. Is that some
Yes.
sort
Yep.
of?
Sure is.
That's sick.
That's awesome.
Also, I would just like to say, Darrow showed up to the gala in black
That's
instead of
true.
white, so it would be totally on brand for him to show up in black dress whites.
That's true.
So I think you nailed
Yeah.
it.
Okay.
Thank you. I appreciate
There
it.
you go.
So.
Yeah. I like it. Yeah, that's incredible. Yeah, you at Laureltide, which I am wearing my Laureltide shirt. You can't
Yeah.
really see because of the back is the more impressive part. But you at Laureltide were so good, and I loved that we were just like hanging
Yeah,
out in a
holy
bar
fuck.
as you looked
Thank you.
incredible.
I just love wearing it. I'm actually doing a shoot with this one tomorrow, so that's why it's
Oh,
out right now. I gotta steam it and everything. So I'm finally getting actual photos of it, not just like half drunken selfies at Laureltide. So yeah.
Yeah, there was. I think that. Well, that's the first time. Did I
We
see?
met
I might
in
have
person.
seen you the. Did I see you the night before? Because I stopped in at the HOV house, but it would have been like 2 seconds
Oh,
at midnight.
maybe, yeah.
But like, so that was the first time, and I was like, I'm so
Yeah.
intimidated. This is Darrow I'm talking to here.
Oh, meanwhile, like Friday night of Laureltide, I was like, oh God, I don't know anybody but like Alcatraz and like the HOV people, but I don't want to be clingy, but I'm also like, but it was one where I'm like later in the night, I was like, once I have the blonde wig on tomorrow, everyone will recognize me. They don't know me right now. So,
Yeah.
and that is what ended up happening. So,
Yeah. So impressive. I absolutely love it. We talked to Alcatraz about how when you're in costume, persona kind of changes. Do you feel that as well? That you like get into that, held high situation?
yeah, I mean, and I don't know if it's really necessarily like I feel like I'm embodying the character and that sort of thing, but I think it's, for me, it's more of a like, I'm really proud I put this together and it looks really good, and like I've tailored it so it looks like good on me, and that sort of thing. So I don't know, and it's just, there's that sense of pride, and I just, maybe it is a little bit also where I'm just like, I get to cosplay my favorite character, like, so yeah.
That's awesome. I love that. Is there anyone else in Red Rising you'd ever do, or are you gonna always stick to Darrow?
I don't know. It's actually funny because before I really got like into like the meat of the series, I had really just started it and like was looking up character fan art and stuff like that, as you do. And I think I saw the one of Mustang where she's got like kind of like the draped, stuff with
Mm-hmm.
packs behind her. It's from the special
Mhm.
edition from Barnes and Noble a couple years ago.
Yeah.
And it was one where like I saw her and I was just like, I think this is gonna be my favorite character. Like had actively started planning on that build specifically, and then like got through the first book and I was like, oh no, she's not my favorite. So I'm like, this is not what I expected. I'm like, because normally
so
I don't know, I'm
funny.
not normally like there's a select few like main characters that I'm like, oh, I really like. I don't know, appreciate and like understand like their character and their motivations and
Mhm.
relate to them in a lot of way. And this was one of those times and it just was kind of like, oh, I didn't expect that to happen. So and here we are. So yeah.
That's awesome. I love that. Crescent, you got any questions?
Steffi Wen.
What'd
What?
you say?
Steffi Wen.
Oh,
I think
Steffi?
Steffi.
you're, yeah,
You got the
you're hype,
hype.
I think.
Oh God, between her and you know what, the other one where I've literally been like, okay, whenever the live action happens, the way Thraxa is going to become my whole personality.
Yes.
Like, uh,
Yes.
yeah, I know it's a ways off, but you know, it's fine. I can start keep working on the muscle right now. So,
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, fair enough.
yeah, but I don't know. I thought I'd have to see like if I can come up with like an outfit for Sephi that I like really jive with, you know, like and to be like that committed to build something because it's not gonna be. I mean, it's gonna be some kind of like armors, leathers, fur, you know, and that sort of thing that I kind of like envision with that, which
Yeah.
is not easy to, you
Yeah.
know, like just throw together if that makes sense. So I don't know. I don't know. I'd have to see if I can come up with something that I really like. I'm like, I have to fucking make that. So sorry if there should
Yeah.
be no F bombs, but
No, no. We're
No,
all
we swear
understanding.
all
okay.
the fucking time.
Okay, cool. All right,
I
cool.
click the button every week that says we're explicit and not for
Okay, cool,
kids.
cool, cool.
Yeah. Okay, so now for like an actual question. Is there a cosplay that you have your heart set on, but just haven't been able to make happen?
Yeah. Okay, so there's a list. There's Katniss's wedding dress. I love, love, love,
Ooh.
love,
That'd be
love
so
that
good.
dress and the design. And it's one where I've been slowly like trying to hunt down like the resources for the fabrics
Yeah.
and everything just to see if I could actually do it, you know, and that sort of thing. So that's one where it's like kind of inching to the top of the list might happen like next year if I can have the space to store it, because that's the other thing. um, and let me see that one. Queen Amidala's red throne room dress is
Ooh.
like,
With the
it's
whole.
yeah,
The big
yeah,
thing.
The whole
yeah.
headdress.
Another
Yeah.
one that is like you have to have the materials for, but also the space to store it.
Yeah.
So in case you're noticing a trend here, um, yeah. And I guess the one that is happening is so for next year I'm going to do another Aloy. I know I just spent 5 years making the last one, but so another one of Aloy's armor sets from Forbidden West that I absolutely adore is
Yeah.
the Nora Thunder Elite set,
Yes.
or the Nora Thunder
Yeah.
Hunter or whatever they call it for the base set. It's Elite if you pre-ordered or whatever and get the red and black one. I'm doing the pink one though, so
I love that
Sick.
so much.
so I'm really excited to work on that one, but that one's gonna take a hot minute to do.
Yeah.
So, but that's definitely been like the
Absolutely.
dream since I got the armor set and just was like, it looks good in every color. Like, and I was kind of on the fence about doing the pink dye or
Yeah.
not until literally with Alcatraz and a couple other people were talking about how we all had like pink armor sets from like Monster Hunter and like a couple other places that we were like, oh, we kind of want to do it. And so we all decided that for YetiCon next year, we're going to do pink girly pop armor, you know, costumes
Yeah,
That
and
would
stuff
be
like that together.
incredible.
that's sick.
So, yeah, I'm like, well,
I
that decided the color.
I love that idea so much. That's incredible. Oh my god. I'm just dreaming of that now because I love Aloy.
Yeah.
We have discussed Aloy at
Yes.
one point pre-COVID. Me and jabs were like, oh, I should do that, but I do not have the talent that you do. So it was one of
Well,
those like, we
literally,
figured out how to do my hair, and then I was like, we'll figure out the costume later.
well, like I said, if we're at another con where I'm at with you and you want to wear it, I will bring it for you. So you're
Oh
gonna
my
feel like a
god.
badass. I was gonna say we're like
Absolutely.
same height.
Yeah,
I
I was
think
gonna
we're
say you
Yeah.
guys are like
relatively
the
same
same
body
size.
shape. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
like, you'll be fine. It all stretches too. So like, it's
Incredible.
comfortable.
I'm
Don't wear
so
it in the heat though.
excited.
That's the
No,
asterisk because
that's
it's all suede.
No Tulsa.
Yeah.
no
Yeah. No
Tulsa.
Tulsa. No. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely not.
That's always the hard thing with cons is making it weather appropriate. Like
And I
I
never do
always
that.
feel no. It's like either overheating or you're freezing because it's like
Yeah.
why can't we have a nice like I don't know 70-degree day for a con? No, it's like one extreme or another.
Yeah, literally, I about cried when I got my photos back from my friend, Rob Kebab Photography, who did my Darrow shoot from last year and everything. Because so a couple days before that, we had to put one of our senior dogs to sleep, so it was already like kind of sad. And then like I was just not feeling it, but I'm like, I've worked so hard. Today is the submission deadline. I have to get like the photos done, and I'm like, I need to just put it on. And it was like 96 degrees outside. It was hot. I was uncomfortable. I was not like in the right headspace. And then Robbie gave me the photos and was like, just go ahead, go edit them, go submit what you need to. He's like, and then just get me my
Yeah.
SD card back, later. And I was like, okay, great. And so literally went up to my hotel room, sat down at my laptop and like pulled up the photos and was like, I'm gonna cry. These are so beautiful. I'm like, for like not being in such a good headspace, like it instantly changed it. And like just being like, I appreciated that my friends just kind of like came together to try and get like photos because I had another friend who was like, oh, I'll do your cape toss so that you look like a badass with your cape in the wind and everything. And I'm like, I
That's
appreciate
amazing.
you. So yeah, it was just I don't know, just one of those where literally I was like, I have some of the best friends ever, and everyone was hyping me up all weekend because they knew how much like the costume meant to me and how much I was putting
Yeah.
into it. And they're like, I don't know what this is, but I'm happy
It's
that you're
great.
happy.
Yeah. That's
So
incredible.
yeah,
I
there's
love
just such
that.
good vibes like attached with that costume from literally start to now. So it's just, yeah. So I think that's another reason it's my favorite. So
Yeah. Makes absolute sense. That's incredible.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm struggling with my next question because we will have you back for the fan art. So don't get too
yes.
much into how you
Okay.
pick and choose things, but like I know other people pick off fan art and you obviously create
Mhm.
some of your own, but where do you get inspired for which outfits you're choosing and what they would look like? Is it like detail going through or just things that come to you?
Um, so like for I guess it depends from costume to costume.
Yeah.
For Red Armored Darrow specifically, like I said, it was the iron gold one. I wanted to make
Yeah.
that relatively, as close-ish to that as I could. There were some things that I changed just because I was like, I don't feel like the leg armor, for example, like looked right on my thighs. So I'm like, I'm gonna change that slightly, just to kind of like balance it out a little bit more, if that makes sense, to the upper half. Because the upper half, like I put everything on, and I was like, the silhouette's perfect. That's exactly
Mm-hmm.
what I wanted, that sort of thing. But then I put on the leg armor, I'm like, okay, scrapping that, redoing it doesn't look right, sort of thing.
Wow.
But I've always been a couple years ago, I did like my first like making something screen accurate
Okay.
like challenge with one of Ray's like training outfit from the last Jedi. Um and so I found the fabric and I was like, this is like the fabric that they used for the vest and everything. I'm like, I want to like really kind of like see what I can do like patterning wise. And I don't know, I've enjoyed that challenge of trying to like make things as screen accurate as possible. So a lot of the time when I look at something like this, that's obviously, a digital painting and that sort of thing, I'm like, where you may not see clothing textures or anything like that, I just try to be like, okay, how would this look if it were real, and that
Yeah.
sort of thing, which I don't know. I was really hoping with the red paint it was going to be a little bit more metallic shimmery, but I
Yeah.
think that's just because I didn't pick the right primer, so I might just reprime it all and repaint it at some point.
Wow.
Um, but so that, I think that's one way I didn't quite hit the mark that I wanted to. But you know, I'm like at the end, I was like, whatever, it's bright red, I'm happy. So and it
Yeah.
all matches.
Looks
So,
great.
but yeah, so that's kind of my approach to it. Is I'm like, I want things to look a little bit more natural. And I kind of like take that approach with like wigs, especially too. I try to use lace front wigs for everything just because it has the natural hairline and everything. And I try to stick to stuff that's just a little bit more natural colors. Like when I did Sailor Pluto many years ago, I know that she has like green hair. I went black hair instead just because I was like, green seems silly to me.
Yep.
So I'm like, I want to go with black hair instead just because that also is, you know, I think accurate and that sort of thing in certain ways too. So
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just how I approach it.
That's awesome. Where do you get all of the fabric? Like, are you constantly looking, or is it a like, oh, I'm on a hunt? Like,
It's
what?
both.
How does this? Okay.
Sometimes I'll be at work and just get like lost on a train of thought, or I'll see like an ad for something, or you know whatever. Like, so I'm actually planning out like my God Killer armor like
Yeah.
build right now and that sort of thing. So a big part of that is kind of like looking at the fabrics and materials, figuring out what I want, if anything, to be out of Warbler or foam, or if I'm going to do like a foam covered with fabric instead. It just depends, and I'm trying to figure out what looks best. So I usually get like swatches of like the different like photos of
Yeah.
fabrics online, and I'll just make a stamp of it basically, remove like all of the coloring that I have from my line art and that sort of thing, and then just kind of color in with
Wow.
said stamp what it looks like and that sort of thing. So that way I can be like, okay, am I actually going to like this in person with these different kinds of textures? So like
Interesting.
Parallel Studios, they I think do a lot of like the silicone printed spandex fabric. So like with Wanda's even like has like kind of like the not a honeycomb, but like almost like a
Yeah.
chevron like texture to like her gloves and that sort of thing. For you know the last iteration of her, anyways.
Yeah.
You know, so they've done stuff like that, so you get that 3D look to it and that sort of thing. So there's been a couple times that I've gone down the rabbit hole looking on their website what they have available, and I'm like, okay, what do I want to use for this God Killer armor and make it look
Yeah.
BA, you know, like. So yeah, I don't know. There are times that I just go on the hunt until I find something that I want, or sometimes I'm just like, I'm gonna scroll around and see what I find, and then usually that leads into the down the rabbit hole. So
Nice. Yeah. That's way back. I don't know why in my head I'm like, you just have to go into every like physical fabric store and like see
well,
what
that's
it
how it
is. But
used to be.
online, yeah, well,
So
and that's yeah.
yeah, now we don't have
Okay.
Joann's anymore, so God bless.
No.
But yeah,
Rip in
so
pieces.
yeah. But I don't know, and it's one too where it's like Yaya Han, so she has a fabric line that is specifically for cosplay, and she usually does
Mm.
some pretty unique stuff. So with her, I've actually been working on a screen accurate catching fire like arena suit
Oh.
from the Hunger Games.
Yeah.
And so she has like this hex like embossed scuba like
Yeah.
fabric or whatever, so it's been really cool to be able to work with that. And then she has a silicone like hexagon print one that I've like outlined in silver, so it's like the front panel of it and that sort of thing. So I've been like, every time something like that comes up that looks really cool, I'm like, okay, we're gonna buy like a yard or two of it, and I'm gonna hoard it because I know there's going to be something later on. So that might just end up being like 90% of the God Killer like thing once I put it together. It's
Good
just all the
time.
stuff that I've hoarded for the last decade. So
I get that. I make dresses, and the random fabric I've started hoarding from like random things that I'm like, this isn't even good fabric or like dress fabric, but it was free or it was cheap, and like maybe one day I'll do something with it.
yep.
Yeah.
Yep, and it turns into a problem and then takes over your
No.
entire office. So, yeah.
Yeah, I feel
Hearing
that.
is you actually do have room for those cosplays.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, how do you travel with it all? Like, have you ever had to
Um
fly with one of them? Or are you driving kind of?
So most of the time I am driving. I tend to stay like within the Midwest, and drive just about everywhere. There is a lot of stuff that I will pack and just not take like the prop with or something like
Yeah.
that. I've already discussed because I told So my friend in France, who is now also very, very obsessed with the series,
Well done.
she eventually wants to come here and everything. She's come to visit me a couple times and that sort of thing. And I'm like, girl, whenever they announce HowlerCon, I'm buying your ticket here. You are going to fly your ass here, and then we are going to have a road trip to probably Tulsa. So, and she's just like, we're going to road trip it. And I'm like, well, first of all, it's the same as me driving to my mom's house. So it's like between 10 and 12 hours from Columbus, which isn't as bad as I thought.
Yeah.
And second of all, I don't know, and that's maybe just the Midwest thinking that we're always like, oh, 10 or 12 hours, we can drive that. That's no big deal. We're not going to get on a
Felt.
plane. So,
That's
okay, cool.
Canada as well. I'm like, I can do that. It's fine.
Okay, cool.
I drove to Tulsa from
Yeah.
Saskatchewan.
Oh my
It was-
God.
I won a
took me
prize for it.
16 hours. It took you, what, 24?
24.
Oh
24.
my God.
And you stopped for 2? I
Yeah, I
at least
slept in
put
a
a
Walmart
break in the
parking lot.
middle of mine.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I don't know if I do that, but 12 hours I could do. So, but so I told her, I was like, okay, well, we're going to have to drive. And she's like, why do we have to drive? I'm like, because whatever armor I'm bringing cannot go in like even a hard shell suitcase, and I feel comfortable with it
Yeah.
making it there in one piece. So,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Incredible. Yeah. Well, and I'm sure you have some like things that could fly, but yeah, the cooler stuff, like absolutely not.
Yeah, this one I flew with.
Yeah.
So,
I was
but
gonna
that
say,
was
and then you
just,
just have to steam it or whatever, right? Like,
yeah, yeah, and it was no big deal. So,
nice. That's awesome. That's so funny. I hadn't even thought of It's like, how do you get?
Oh, that would be unreal.
yeah, literally planning like many, like a year in advance, hopefully. That's just gonna get shoved in another tote and sit in the back of my car, and then we're gonna drive. So, yeah.
Perfect. I love it. I'm trying to think. Bobbin's in the audience. Bobbin, if you have any questions, you can throw them out there and we will take it. Bobbin's one of our Fade to Obsidian audience members, so gets to hang out.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Love our audience.
We do. They're great. I'm trying to think. Anything you want us to ask? Was there anything you were anticipating we asked?
I don't think so. I think my only like surprising little trivia was I actually wanted to cosplay Mustang originally, and then that changed and pivoted really hard. So
that's super interesting to know, though, that it
yeah.
the character affects you that much rather than I don't know if it's because I'm a redhead and I just grew up with that like I will only cosplay redheads. That like I feel like if there was like not that I would ever do. Well, Harmon, like the Reds don't actually have red hair, but I feel like EO or somebody like is always depicted with red hair. Like there's those ones that it's like those where I'd gravitate. But it's interesting of that perspective of, that your favorite character rather than necessarily like this is who I look like.
Yeah,
Really
I mean,
cool.
and I like that. Like I think Alcatraz said it too during the last episode that literally like when we just got together and did our goofy little like casual howler jacket like just goofy photos and stuff like that, and sometimes it was equally balanced of wow, we look like such badasses, and also we are just laughing our asses off because we're being so goofy about it and just having a good time. Awesome. But I like that we all were like the character I think that resonated with each of us most. So I don't know, and that just always makes it extra special when you're just like, I get to do this with my friends, and I also get to be my favorite character. So
yeah. Bobbin says that she loves you. Bobbin, we did ask that question right off the top. I think you had missed it. So she was asking about how long you've been doing it and what sparked your interest. So Bobbin can look for that answer off the beginning. Again, unless you want to paraphrase for her.
Yeah, just that I started in 2007, and I had been looking up anime characters online, and I was like, oh god, people dress up as these? This is awesome. How do I do this? Yeah. So, and here we are now.
Were you a big Halloween person growing up?
Like, oh yeah,
are you
still am.
Yeah. Yeah. Because that's where I think a lot of like my cosplaying is like I did Halloween, and then because I worked in a bookstore, I got to dress up for all the kids events, and that was always fun.
Oh, that's fun.
Dressed up at work. The best was it was Star Wars Day, so I was Princess Leia, and one of the characters started Like I would just have not one of the characters, one of the customers. Like they would all interact with me as if I was Princess Leia, and
Yeah.
and then you'd have others who are like, "What are you wearing?" Like who just have no idea because you're like at work and you're like,
Right.
don't
Yeah.
worry about this. And then from there, it was like, oh, like I started to create like casual costumes that I could wear to work, and then that was when actually the first here's a fun thing that I don't know if I've ever said on here. The first convention I ever went to was because Pierce got. I won. No, technically, let me tell the story right. Jabs won a free ticket off of Pierce. We were at the Iron Gold signing because I had driven to Chicago to see Pierce with Jabs, and the bookstore did a draw of here's for Chicago's C2E2 a free, I think it was a free 1 day pass that you got.
Hmm.
And Jabs happens to win it, and so the two of us start screaming. Pierce literally goes, "Not them." But Jabs already had her full weekend pass. So I got the free ticket and then bought the rest of the days for it. So I went to my first
Oh,
convention
that's
because like
awesome.
Pierce drew Jabs' name during the convention. So that was always fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Ah, that's such a good experience, though.
Right? Yeah. So thanks, Pierce. And then we went, I think I went, what that would have been 20, we did 3 years, 2018, 2019, and then February of 2020 we snuck in that one. And then I haven't been back since,
Coming
but
in under
we've
the
done.
wire.
I know. No, literally. I came back to Canada on March 8th with con crud that I thought was COVID. I was
Oh
one of the
man.
first people in Canada tested for COVID because I was so sick after returning from
Oh
Chicago.
jeez.
Yeah, I know. Not to bring back those memories, but it's fun because then, yeah, Jabs and I have now done Phoenix. We did Emerald City where we got to hang out with
Oh, that's fun.
Seattle, or in Seattle, we were hanging out with Salem, who was dressed as Mustang
Hmm.
for the 1 day, which was super fun. She did not come to the bar dressed as a Mustang. I'm a little upset with that. She went home and changed and then met us at the bar. But
I was
yeah,
gonna say that's
it's
some of
fun.
my favorite memories is literally at MatsuriCon. There's on the second floor of the hotel, we call it Big Bar on Two, and that's just where everybody goes and just hangs out in costume drinking for
Yeah,
the night. And it's just nice to like end the night there and hang out. So
yeah. I think me and Jabs were probably still in costume, but that night we were doing like casual Merida and casual Rapunzel. So like
oh,
it was
that's really
one of the,
good.
yeah, like the downplayed, more of what do they call it? What do they call it? The Disney ones that you have to do because you can't dress
Oh,
up if you
the
go to
Disney
Disney.
Bound.
Disney bound, yeah, kind of
Yeah.
more that angle because you can't actually wear,
Yeah.
if you're an adult, you can't dress as any Disney character at Disney so that no child thinks that you are a true. So yeah, more of that
Yeah.
Disney bound, which was fun. It is funny of how like Jabs and I will now do like one going all out costume. And our new favorite is I will wear Wanda from WandaVision in the sweatpant outfit. And she
Oh, I love it.
wears um, Valkyrie in Thor: Love and Thunder when she's in her
Oh, yeah.
pajamas, and the two of us are just the most comfortable we've ever been. And you just get like we get comments from people all the time being like, "That's smart." Like you are. I'm like, I'm in sweatpants. You know who I am. Like,
Yeah, literally, I was in, let me see here, Aloy at MatsuriCon this year because I was doing the competition and everything with her. I think I had gotten in it at like noon-ish, maybe a little bit before noon, but I think my first shoot was at noon, and then I had my judging at like 2. And
yeah,
then the masquerade didn't finish until like 6 or 7, maybe, or something like that. And it was just one of those where it was like, this is such a long day. I'm so looking forward to getting out of this costume and just chuck it in the tote, not have to look at it again for a hot minute until I need
yeah,
to wash it. Like, so, because that is, I don't think about comfort. I just think about what's gonna
yeah.
look like
You
a
want to look
badass.
good.
So,
Mhm.
Yeah, we're on two opposite ends of the
I
scale
was gonna
there.
say, I need to start thinking like you though, so I can be comfortable.
It's great, especially for that like second day, right? Like on the Saturday you go all
Yeah,
out, and then the Sunday you're like, I'm just
I'm
casually
just
or
ready to chill.
whatever.
Yeah.
it's great.
Yeah, I have enjoyed that here lately. It's been kind of a trend that Sundays are turning into like our Howler jackets and wig,
Yeah,
like chill
exactly.
days. And I'm like, okay, I like this. I can handle this.
Yeah, absolutely. It's great. Well, I think that's it for now because we will have you back in less than a month and we'll be talking all fan art. So we'll be
Sounds
kind of
great.
getting into the nitty gritty more of how you vision characters and what inspires you in that manner. Um,
Sure.
but yeah, thank you so much. And also, huge shout out to you for how quickly we threw this episode together. I will take full blame that it was last
It's okay.
night because I went, oh no, we don't have an episode because I have so many open conversations right now with people, but no one actually signed up. So I
Yeah.
appreciate you so
Yeah,
much that
thank
we
you
threw
for
this.
No problem. So
making it
thanks for
work.
my flexibility. I know I was
Yeah.
kind of like touch and go there for a hot minute, like, can
No.
we push it
You're
back an
good.
hour? So,
Yeah, you are
but yeah, no,
fantastic.
thanks for having me. This is
Yeah,
fun. So
of
I've never
course.
done podcast. Hopefully I'm not super awkward or anything.
No, this is
So,
You've been
fantastic.
fantastic.
You kept
okay,
the
cool.
conversation going, which is what we want. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Thank you, Patreon, for keeping us on the air. Everyone, including our audience, who Bobbin has joined us. But if you're on the $5 tier, people can jump in while we're recording. And yeah, that's about it. We will put all of your Instagram and whatever other social media, but you're Caroline Krunchy on almost everything.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
check the show
Instagram's
notes
about
for
the
that.
only one I use anymore.
Okay,
So, yeah.
perfect. We will do that. And then we didn't call it out last week, but we are using the outro for Book of Lorne because they gave it to us, so why wouldn't we use it? So
Right. I
if you
may
don't
or
know,
may not have something in the works for that. We'll see. It's going to take me a hot minute.
oh,
So,
incredible. Okay,
we'll
we'll
see. I'm
follow
glad that
up.
they're slowly releasing stuff.
Yeah,
So,
we'll follow up in like a year on that one,
okay.
whenever.
Yep.
Yeah,
Hopefully
whenever
not
you're
that
set
long.
for that. Yeah. But yeah, so enjoy the trailer for that because Lit Escalates told us the world is our oyster, and we've just decided that we are making it
Until
the
they tell
fate,
us to stop.
our Fate to Obsidian outro. We also, if you heard at the beginning, our intro is TGR saying low howler. So thank you to him that we are allowed to abuse that. So that's where we're at.
Lightly.
Yeah. Lightly abuse with permission. Salem asks.
TGR, if you want to come on and just like, just saying.
You versus TGR doing Apple voices. I'm just saying.
I lose. Like,
Just saying.
that's not fair.
Well, all right. Thank
I think it'd
you
be great.
so much. I think it'd be amazing. Everyone, message TGR
Oh,
and
I'll
get
do
him
it.
to
I'll do
come
it.
on here.
But I'll
Yeah.
lose.
Yeah. You don't have a choice, but TGR has a choice, and so everyone. I don't know how we. He's not even on social media, but if someone has access to TGR,
I think he is.
it's Tim Gerard Reynolds. If you don't know, I'm just imagining someone on here is not going to, but
The original voice of Red Rising.
the original audio narrator. All right. Thank you, everybody. Have a good night.
Lo, Howlers. Red Rising isn't ending with Red God. Wipe away your tears, and welcome to the Book of Lorne. Episode 1. Honor in the First. The statue of the Gold Woman is thick and uncharacteristically short for her color. Her armor is utilitarian, unadorned except for the image of a griffin depicted head-on. Below her, a metal plaque has been affixed. It reads, Honor in the First. Am I really so naive that I thought I could just knock on this door and ask him to instruct me? And here I thought the morning to be free of storms. The voice rumbles from behind me. I go still. I turn to see the most famous warrior alive. Years and war have left this man like a spit of land pummeled by the waves of the sea, until all that remains is proud cliffs, violent scarps, and impish breaker sprays of mischief and danger in his eyes. He nods to the plague. These words first belonged to my mother, Nefeli au Arcus, who lived every single day of her life governed by a code of honor, except for the day that she died. My dearest Lorne, this is the last you will hear from your father and I for some time. If the night goes well, we will come for you when it is safe. If not, then I am sorry, for the future of House Arcos will fall to you. I regret that it has come to this, that we must place ourselves in the service of a criminal, but our house cannot survive under your father's debts. We have no choices left. Son, what we do tonight, we do for you, to give you a chance at a life of honor, purpose, duty. I love you, my son, and if this is indeed our last goodbye, then I would bid thee to memorize the lesson I so badly forgot today. Under pain of consequence, honor in the first, honor in the last. The Book of Lorne, available now on shitescalates.com.